Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we've got that grand voyage feeling, you know? Just got that grand voyage feeling with the level 5 Syrup Village release. I noticed that Who's Who is actually a fighter character. Now, I thought, let's try and take him into level 5 at ALVIDAS Hideout and try and get it done actually legit with a full strength, full fighter, with a Luffy on the team, and actually complete level 5 of Grand Voyage. However, there is a little issue with doing that, is Who's Who needs a strength, dex, and a quick character on the crew. So that means we have to try and fit a dex and a quick character into a team where the challengers bring a mono strength team. So using Who's Who as a sub, definitely viable. Very, very good for this, actually. He gives special reverse. He's got special reverse built into his sailor ability. He does a big chain boost as well as color affinity. 2 strength units. Very, very good for the final stage as you have color affinity on that. He's a fighter, so he fits that category. He's strength, so he fits that too. But let's try it with him as a captain. He does end of turn damage. There's a lot of resilience. Let's see if we can cheese our way and actually get through level 5 at ALVIDAS Hideout. So with that said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's check out the video. Alright, so here we go. Here is the team. As you guys can probably guess, we did manage to get it done. And actually got it done pretty nicely. So, as I mentioned, the showcase today is based on one of the newest Sugo Fest exclusives. That is the Toby Ropo Assaulting Ancient Fangs Who's Who. Now, as a captain, as I mentioned, he does need strength, dex, and quick characters to get the 4.5 times attack boost. And then, if no Sile Int characters are on the crew, he further boosts strength and dex and quick by 1.2. Now, this goes up to like 5.4, which is absolutely insane. It's a huge buff that you actually get for your strength, dex, and quick characters. And then for every perfect you hit, you actually do end of turn damage up to 600 times its attack. And it's very similar to V2 Akainu's. You do get 2 turns of special reverse at the start of the quest too, but like that doesn't really matter too much because strength characters get their cooldowns. So like that's awesome. With this particular character, he does have a super class, he has a super tandem, but in today's video, we're not focusing on that. We're sort of showcasing that this character can do a lot with literally just himself, basically. He's a pretty good unit. His special deals 200 times his attack and strength damage, reduces strength, dex, quick characters special charge by 2 turns, and then boosts normal attacks by strength, dex, increased by 2.25. If the captain is himself or a dex or a quick character, he boosts the chain multiplier by 1.6 for 3 turns. So very good color affinity, very good chain buff, because on the final stage you need to get above a certain chain to do damage. So this guy works out very, very nicely. For some reason he has dex damage reduction. Don't even start me on a 2022 legend having dex damage reduction. That's for another video. But with the Who's Who came along a character called Ulti. There was a page 1 and an Ulti, and Ulti's support actually gives a 1.5 times orb boost to strength, dex, and quick as long as you do a damage dealing special. She goes on Who's Who as well. And if you guys don't know, with this content you actually can't use an orb boost on the final stage. So this works absolutely perfectly. If you can get Who's Who special off on the final stage with the ulti support, you're going to get a 1.5 times orb boost, a 2.25 color affinity, and a 1.6 times chain boost for 3 turns. So it works very, very nicely. Next, we've got Garp. Garp has pretty much been a staple on like all of my teams. He was free to play, and the big reason this guy is awesome is because he reduces barriers by 1 turn, and he also gives cooldowns by 1 turn. He has double special activation, which means you can remove 2 turns of barriers and get 2 turns of cooldown. The big reason he's amazing here is because on the final stage too, you actually get attack down. So utilizing this Kobe actually removes 3 turns of attack down. It works very, very nicely. Next, we've got Kid. Kid is pretty much one of the only fighter characters that's strength that actually has hunger removal. Now, there is a Sabo, World Journey Sabo, but I didn't want to include him because he's a World Journey unit, and like not a lot of people have him. So with Kid, basically, I'm just using him for the hunger as well as utilizing the Akainu support. That's basically it for stage 3. I'm pretty sure we're using him. So that's pretty much why we have Kid here. No real other reason. Next, we've got Sobermask. This is like the first time I've ever used this Sobermask, to be honest. He has a pretty good support, and I have seen him used for something like the Grand Voyage against Buggy. But in today's video, we actually managed to get him on this team. He's a fighter, and his special removes Bind and Despair by 2 turns, which is great for the final stage, as well as being our attack booster for the final stage as well. He doubles the crew's attack for 1 turn. It's not great, but it's all we need for this particular team to function. Finally, we have Luffy and Ace. Yes, Luffy and Ace. That is our Luffy character for the team. We are bringing the V2 Straw Hats as a friend captain because obviously we need a dex and we need a quick character, and there is only one dual unit that has quick in the title, and that is Luffy and Ace. So we have to bring Luffy and Ace. That we just had to. We had no other option, but we did need to put a Luffy on the team. They are our quick unit, and it works out pretty nicely. The big reason that this team works is because we have this Otama support. Now, I do know this Otama is a treasure map rare recruit. I do apologize, but this is a challenge run. It's not like a... It's going to be a walkthrough, but it's more of a challenge run video. Otama will remove bind by 2 turns when inflicted, and then locks your crew slots for 1 turn. The locking slots is the reason she's here. Removing the bind is a bonus, to be honest. Like, it works perfectly. But the reason I love using this Otama is because she locks the slots on stage 4. And that's the reason she's obviously here. If you can find another support that locks slots, like for Luffy and Ace, even if it means using their special on stage 4, like, use that. The big reason we have Otama here is just to lock the slots. You do want to try and get around the bind, but I do think it's doable without removing the bind. But Otama was just the perfect unit for this. As I mentioned, we are using a V2 Straw Hats, the Mugiwara crew at Wano, as they are a Dex unit, and they have an amazing final tap, which gets around resilience, so it works really, really nicely. And then we have the Shark Superb for some more damage. So that's the team. Let's take a look at the run. Alright, Iron Mace ALVIDAS, level 5 Grand Voyage. That is the team. Those are the supports. Let's dive in. And honestly, I was pretty chuffed with this one. Like, who's who? Black Maria and Sasuke, whilst they have their faults, they are still very, very powerful legends. Very, very powerful. And this is a prime example of showcasing what a character can do, a newer character can do in the hardest content. I do think Grand Voyage level 5 is the pinnacle of content at the moment. Whilst it is incredibly restrictive, I do think level 5 ALVIDAS hit it on the head perfectly, as there is so many options for team building when it comes to this particular piece of content. It's still very restrictive, don't get me wrong. It is still very restrictive. However, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. I did see Chaozu, he used Husu as a sub and did it without the Mugiwara Straw Hats. So, like, there's like that as well. But the fact that we could get it done, a mono strength challenge run with a Dex and a quick unit on the team to make Husu work was just honestly awesome. This is where we wanted to use the Akainu support, and we use Luffy and Ace's special. We basically just want to use their special because, like, we don't have good orb manipulation with this run. Husu doesn't give us any matching orbs. The Mugiwara 56 don't either. Why do I do that? The V2 Straw Hats, they don't either. So getting matching orbs there and getting the Rainbow Orb boost thanks to the captain ability of the V2 Straw Hats with Luffy and Ace works out really, really nicely. On stage 4 against ALVIDAS, she's going to bind our bottom left by 1 turn, give us 3 turns of chain coefficient reduction, paralyze our bottom right, slot bind our middle row, as well as give us a full body unfavorable bomb orbs and only allowing us to attack with 4 characters. That was a mouthful, holy. But basically, we're just going to pop our Mugiwara Wano characters, the V2 Straw Hats, and give ourselves a full body Rainbow Orbs. That's where Otama was so good. Otama can get rid of the bind, but as you guys can see, she actually locks the Rainbow Orbs, which is very important for the final stage, as you cannot rotate orbs. Another upside, well, another thing here is you need to be, like, mindful of your taps, and you do need to sort of break barriers, so it does take a little bit of skill there. But like I said, this is a challenge run. This is not like a use this team, you know. This is not a team I would use to beat this, but it's just really cool to see that Husu actually could. On the final stage against ALVIDAS, she has 3 mobs with her. 2 of them are Dex, 1 of them is Quick, and then she is a Dex unit herself. She wipes away all your positive buffs, and then she, like, rotates all of your orbs and slot binds basically all your sailors. She gives you 3 turns of attack down, 2 turns of chain coefficient reduction, reduces your attack under a certain chain threshold, as well as binding your top left and despairing your captains. Again, massive mouthful. The mobs have a good, a great, a perfect barrier, all for 2 turns, as well as everyone having 99 turns of resilience. So just a lot going on in this final stage. You also cannot rotate your orbs, and you cannot use an orb boost. So with this team, on the final stage, Sobermask gives us an attack boost. We have rainbow slots. We do lose 2 sockets, but that is absolutely fine. We have a 1.6 chain boost, and we have a 2.25 times color affinity boost on top of a 1.5 times orb boost thanks to ulti. Now, as you guys will see here, I do target one of the mob enemies. I then switch to ALVIDAS to hit with, like, all of my other characters that don't include Luffy and Garp. And then with the final tap of the Mugiwara V2, we can actually take out the quick unit. Once we've done that, we have the end of turn damage from Who's Who. We're going to switch back to ALVIDAS. He's going to take her out, and then on the second turn, we can not only use the final tap of the Straw Hats to take out one of the mob units, but we can then use the end of turn damage from our boy Who's Who to actually take out the last mob unit. So there you guys go. That was a challenge who's who taking down level 5 Grand Voyage ALVIDAS. If you enjoyed the video, pelt the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button. But most importantly, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later!